Good evening and welcome to Bison Information Network News. I'm James Porter.
And I'm Lydia Crockle.
NDSU graduate students are gearing up for the 4th annual 3-minute thesis competition next Thursday. The competition takes place from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in NDSU's Memorial Union and is meant to improve graduate students' ability to clearly and concisely communicate their research.
Last year's winner, Taibe Marzaroni, went on to compete in the regional 3-minute thesis competition in Seattle.
And now we'll take it to our weather center where Jay has our 7-day forecast. Jay?
Thanks, James. The past couple days had brought a little bit of hope to the students on the NDSU campus as temperatures reached up to about 30 degrees. It was 30 degrees the past couple days. However, today was a bit of a shock and disappointment to those who were uplifted by the heavy degrees weather, as you can see now behind me. Temperatures reached down to -14 with the heavy wind speeds of 23 miles per hour, pushing those numbers down to a wind chill of feels like -16 degrees. However, it will spike up a little bit tomorrow as temperatures for the high will be considered at 24 degrees with a low of only 14. However, the wind will be 18 miles per hour, so don't get too excited. It probably will still feel a little bit cold tomorrow. Looking at our 7-day forecast today, as we said, it's going to warm up a little bit tomorrow, with Saturday also keeping around that same time, but then on Sunday it's going to be snowing. It's going to drop down to about -2 degrees. Monday will even go down further with a high of 9 and a low of -3, with Tuesday and Wednesday staying around the same temperatures. So even though we were warmer a little bit over the past couple days, we are going to drop back down into the cold temperatures over the next week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jay. After the break, an update on the new softball complex and an indoor triathlon.
Stay tuned. Snakes, legless lizards, and dinosaur fossils were all on display this last week in the A. Glen Hill Center. Bison Information Network news reporter Alex Hart went to find out what Darwin Day is all about.
Darwin Day has been going on at NDSU for 7 years now and was declared a holiday on February 12, 2013. But Darwin Day is not just for understanding, it's also for surviving.
So we're talking more survival. In other words, if we go extinct, it won't affect the bees. Bees go extinct, there's going to be a cascade of effects and we lose at the other end.
Biology is the main focus of Darwin Day, and Dr. Fauci thinks that's where the future is headed.
It puts out there the excitement that really is biology. I mean, biology, there's 2 fields at this point that I think are the fields of the future. One of them has been, of course, nanotechnology and that type of thing. The other has been and will continue to be biology.
With the future in mind, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Travers voice what they think is the most fascinating new projects to come.
There are more breakthroughs there, what's become possible there, all the things, I mean, we can ask questions now that we couldn't even conceive of asking a century ago, and we can get answers, and it's a whole, let's just put it this way. I wish I was about 40 years younger because I'd like to do it again.
Gosh, you could get all kinds of really interesting, what was some top predators if you could actually get other kinds of things, I don't know, cougars or other kinds of animals that we think of as generally very fierce. How quickly could you get them to be domesticated? I think that'd be an interesting question.
The main focus of Darwin Day was the keynote speaker, Dr. Lee Dugaton. He is the author of How to Tame a Fox and Build a Dog.
That this is a really kind of cool experiment in general for everybody to kind of get behind, because everybody is familiar with their own pets and have noticed probably really cool traits and maybe wondered where these kinds of things came from.
Reporting for Bison Information Network News, I'm Alex Hart.
The NDSU softball team now has a new place to call home. The first phase of an $800,000 renovation was completed in December. Once finished, the grandstand will have a chairback seating, a press box, a sound system, and a scoreboard. The new facility will be able to seat 552 people. Phase 2 will begin after the 2018 season.
The Woolman Wellness Center is hosting their 2nd annual indoor triathlon next month. The race will begin with a 10-minute swim in aquatics, a 30-minute bike ride in the cycling studio, and finish with a 20-minute run on the treadmill. Volunteers will track the total distance biked, swam, and ran. The more distance covered, the higher your score. Registration costs $30, which includes a t-shirt. The last day to register for the triathlon is March 22nd.
Coming up, Fargo Force has a new look, a 24-hour coding competition, and today's Hollywood and Health Minute.
We'll be right back. The Fargo Force is teaming up with Sanford Children's Hospital for tomorrow night's game to help local pediatric patients. Before and during the game, a blind auction will be held to win a special edition jersey signed by 10-year-old Brody Stram of West Fargo. Stram was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer at age 2 and is now cancer-free following treatment at Sanford's Children's Hospital. Stram will also be dropping the ceremonial first puck before the game.
Programmers spent an entire day programming artificial intelligence to play a video game. NDSU Association for Computer Machinery hosted this event to spike interest on the topic. Groups of up to 3 were tasked with writing an AI to play a video game. With a 24-hour time frame, groups needed to manage programming and sleep to win. The AI that played the game the best was the winner. The NDSU ACM wants to make this an annual event with hopes of bringing in more competition and events.
Really crabby and not the best decision making once you hit around hour 20 of staying up. And with an event like this, where there's all sorts of small little different changes you can make that'll have a big difference in the score you get, you want to have as good of a game plan, strategy, and a clear mind as you can.
This was the first programming competition held by NDSU in over a decade.
After the break, sports reporter Eric Bonnell will join us for updates on men's and women's basketball,
as well as a look at the Winter Olympic standings for the United States when we come back.
The North Dakota State men's basketball team looked to snap a 4-game losing streak this past Tuesday night. Their last 3 losses have been by a total of 12 points. The Bison would be out without senior guard Paul Miller in this game. He is out due to injury, lower body injury. Coach Richmond will not explain. Here you see in the first half, A.J. Jacobson, he gets the driving layup. The Bison are down too early on. Yet again, A.J. Jacobson, he gets another driving layup. It kissed off the glass. The Bison are down 1 at that point, 18-17. A.J. kicks it out to Jared Samuelson. He hits the 3. The Bison are up 2, 26-24. The Bison would not relinquish the lead after that Samuelson bucket. There you see head coach David Richmond. Tyson Ward, he hits the 3 from downtown. The Bison have stretched out their lead. They're up big by 17. Dangu, here you see, he drives. He gets a little up fake. He gets the layup to go. The Bison would be up 18 at that point. And here you see Jared Samuelson. He hits his record-breaking 9th 3 of the game for his game-high 32 points.
Humbling experience, very big blessing to be mentioned with, Lawrence Alexander, Paul Miller, all those great players out there. So it's a very big blessing.
The Bison would go on to win 87-53. Samuelson, as I mentioned, 32 points, 9 of 13 from 3. Next up for them is Senior Day this Saturday against Fort Wayne. Tip is scheduled for 2 p.m. It's Senior Day for A.J. Jacobson and Paul Miller this upcoming Saturday. However, junior Spencer Eliason has decided to forego his senior season and enter medical school next year. Eliason has appeared in all 26 games this season, including 22 starts for the Bison. He is averaging a career-high 4.3 points per game and just had a season-high 10 points this past Tuesday night against Mayville State.
And getting into medical school, and so is basketball obviously not a distraction. I think it's helped him be the person that he is, but can he focus some energy and efforts in some other places?
The Bison women held their annual Play for K game this past Saturday as they welcomed the Pioneers of Denver for a Summit League contest. You see Riley Newdell warming up, Tyra Spencer wearing their pink gear. Sarah Jacobson, she hits the 3 from downtown. The Bison are up 5 early on. Michelle Gaisarova caps off a 12-0 run for the Bison to start the game. Next up, later on in the second half, Autumn Ogden, she gets the easy bucket. The Bison are down 3, however, at that point. Martin Walseth happy with how her team's performing. Sarah Jacobson, she hits the 3 from downtown and trying to will the Bison back in it. They're down 4 at that point. However, here you see Brianna Johnson, she gets the 3 to fall from downtown as the Bison will go on to lose 78-73.
Really competed and were a play, a pass, a rebound, a made foul shot, short or different, and we would be sitting here in a different outcome.
The Bison were led by Riley Jacobson. She had 18 points. Next up for them is Tonight they're taking on Fort Wayne. Tip is scheduled for 6 p.m. The North Dakota State volleyball team now has a new assistant coach on its bench for the 2018-2019 season. Drew Davis comes from Creighton University, where he was a volunteer coach. During his lone season at Creighton University, the Blue Jays went 16-2 in Big East play and compiled a 26-7 record. They advanced to the second round of the NCAA tournament, where they fell to Michigan State. Davis began his collegiate career at Erskine College in Due West, South Carolina, before completing his career at Limestone College in Gaffney, South Carolina. Snow is still on the ground here in Fargo, but it's time to start thinking about warm weather, baseball, and softball season. The Summit League preseason polls have been released for both baseball and softball. North Dakota State is favored to win the Summit League for the 6th consecutive year. The Bison received 5 out of the 6 first-place votes, followed by Western Illinois, who's picked to finish second. South Dakota got the other first-place vote and is predicted to finish third, followed by South Dakota State, Omaha, and Fort Wayne, rounding out the standings. On the baseball side of things, the NDSU baseball team is picked to finish third behind Oral Roberts, who received 5 out of the 6 first-place votes, and South Dakota State. Western Illinois, Omaha, Fort Wayne round out the bottom half of the poll.
Well, you know, it's a veteran lineup. 6 out of our 9 are back from last year that played significant amount of time. So that's always exciting, having a good, stable lineup.
The baseball team will head down to Texas on Thursday for a 4-game series and will have their first outside workout Thursday night. They will take on Incarnate Word starting Friday afternoon at 2 and then again Friday at 6. The Winter Olympics are underway, and the first week has been nothing short of amazing. The U.S. Olympic team has done particularly well in the snowboarding events. In the snowboard slopestyle, 17-year-old Red Garrard crashed on his first 2 runs and came back on his third and final run to win the gold. In the women's halfpipe fellows, 17-year-old Chloe Kim was dominant and also took home a gold medal for the United States. In the men's halfpipe, Olympic veteran Shaun White, the Flying Tomato, took home his 3rd career gold medal. Going into his final run, he needed to score a 95.25 or higher to win, and he came through with a 97.75 to win. As of Thursday morning, Norway leads the medal count, with the United States in 5th with 8 total medals. A Greek teenager traveled to the United States for the chance to shoot hoops with his favorite NBA player, the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is also from Greece. That's all thanks to the local Milwaukee Make-A-Wish Foundation. 15-year-old Demetrius Zamanis has a plastic anemia, a rare and serious condition. This was his first time in the United States. He said meeting with the Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis was the best day of his life. As you see Giannis shooting hoops with Demetrius right there.
He said that he'll take my picture of Make-A-Wish and he will put it next to his bed, so that was funny. I'll definitely remember that.
I was about to cry because his dream came true.
What do you guys think about the Winter Olympics so far?
Well, obviously it's fun to see that we have 8 gold medals for the U.S. and then Shaun White is obviously like super fun to watch in his 3rd one. That's really awesome for him.
And how about that luge, the men's luge, first medal ever for the United States?
And they were so close in the team relay luge. I watched that this morning, got a chance to wake up early, watch that this morning. They were so close, just finishing out in 4th.
Yeah.
We'll be back right after the break. It is estimated that every year individuals spend hundreds of dollars on Valentine's Day. Whether you spent it alone this year or with someone you love, lots of people have stories about their past experiences.
This week's Bison on the Street asked people what their favorite Valentine's Day memory was.
So my favorite Valentine's memory is in high school when I was a cheerleader and we were cheerleading at the regional games and we won on Valentine's Day for our boys. They did super great and that's probably my only favorite Valentine's Day memory.
I enjoy watching movies and eating snacks.
My most memorable Valentine's memory was when I had a girlfriend in 9th grade and I bought her a stuffed animal and a chocolate bunny and I left it in my car to surprise her after school. And when we got to my car after school, it was really sunny and the chocolate completely melted, but she still enjoyed the stuffed animal.
So on Valentine's Day, my favorite memory is probably in elementary school when we would hand out all the fun Valentines and candies to all the classmates and decorate the fun boxes.
Thank you for watching this edition of Bison Information Network News.
Be sure to check out our Facebook page and our YouTube channel.
And catch us back here next Thursday night.
Have a great night, everyone.